I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Frank Tufano for doing the right thing. No, I'm not taking back anything that I had said about him in the past. I believe I was correct in doing all that. However, at this point in time, Frank Tufano is also correct, at least to a degree. I don't agree with the hysteria when it comes to the apocalypse or us being fried like chickens. I don't agree. I think that whole system is there for surveillance. It's evil, don't get me wrong, it's completely and utterly evil, but not in the way he thinks it is. And I don't agree with all of his theories, but he's questioning, he's going out there and showing you how what the mass media are saying is incorrect, and he's doing something, and he's giving people something to think about, and maybe even providing some solutions. And I had gotten comments from some people wanting me to go against Frank Tufano because of the hysteria and some of the fear mongering he may be spreading when it comes to these towers and the radiation or frequency or microwaves or whatever it may be. But I don't have any evidence that, even though I don't agree, I don't have any evidence that what he's saying is wrong. And even though I think he is probably, it's just my opinion, exaggerating the problem or not looking at it for what it really is, well, I don't have any proof of that either. But there's one thing that we agree on, right? If we're just going to hyper focus on that, we both agree that that is bad. And this is why I call a lot of people simpletons, because they think that just because they disagree, let's say when it comes to a political order, right? Some people think that they're socialists, other people call themselves communists, then you have these capitalists and Democrats and Republicans, and they all think that they have an idea of what the political system or their milieu, the world around them, should look like. Yeah? And that's fine. If you really question all these beliefs of yours, you'll see that you're actually more interested in a system that takes little bits and pieces from all of these systems, even a monarchy probably. But that's a whole another conversation, why these ideologies have been used and how they've been used to divide us. Because the best system, whether we completely or utterly disagree, completely agree or utterly disagree on what any given political system, the best one, should look like, ultimately we all agree on the fact that it should be a hybrid one. Some of you just don't know that. Like, I'm gonna give you a quick example and then get back on the subject. Let's say you're a staunch capitalist, whatever the hell that means, and you're anti-socialism, right? If your boss at your job decides to profit share with you, what, you're gonna say no? How many of you so-called pro-capitalists or Republicans or whatever, so anti-socialism and communism, working as a cashier at your local supermarket, how many of you would say no if that company wanted to become a co-op and share profits with you, where you as a cashier would make 40 to 50 grand a year? This is happening. This is possible. There are grocery store co-ops in the Bay Area where a cashier makes 40 fucking grand a year, right? And the store manager makes 50. Right? Wouldn't you want that? Right, then you don't have a problem with everything that is socialist or socialistic, okay? Just a little example there. And you can have a completely capitalist enterprise with socialist underpinnings. Okay? Anyway, so basically what I'm trying to say, what the point is that I'm making, is that Pan Popper and I, we don't agree on everything. Frank and I, we don't agree on everything. But it's like hitchhiking, right? Say you're going from Paris to Amsterdam and you're standing out there with your thumb up. And this is a great example of how just going out into the world and traveling and living and experiencing this world can teach you a lot of things if you're willing to learn. You're hitchhiking from Paris to Berlin, let's say. But someone stops and they say, oh, I'm going to Amsterdam. Which means that maybe they could take you 200 kilometers up the road, maybe more. What, you're going to say no? You're going to say, no, 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 no. I'm going to Berlin, so no thank you, right? This is how a lot of these simpletons think. Even though they wouldn't do that in real life if they were hitchhiking. They would go along with that person until they got to that crossroads where it was time to go somewhere else in a different direction. But when it comes to political conviction or ideology, they can't seem to see that logic where we're in this hole right now and we need to dig ourselves out of this hole together. And then once we're out and we can see daylight and our common enemy is gone, then we can each go our own way, shake hands, and say goodbye. Okay? Don't be a fucking simpleton. Because for now we gotta write this shit together. That's all I'm saying. So shout out to Frank Tufano. I don't agree with everything that he says. And soon enough, and I hope this happens, we'll go our own way. But for the time being, we're moving in the same direction, so props. Okay? Recognize and realize what's good for you. And don't be a fucking simpleton. Take care.